Okay, on the draw for League number 2, match 1. Basic Plains. Snow covered. Snow covered weirdly means like it's like the Field of Ruin deck more likely than Boros Energy, yeah, or something like this. Okay, so we don't care about Rest in Peace. Oh, this is Peace of Mind. What is that? Discard a card, gain 3 life. Okay, you can have that one. Rottenmouth Viper gets around Ruined Halo. I guess I'm just going to take a Ghostly Prison. I knew Snow-Covered Plains was going to be some nonsense like this. Oh, Break the Ice hits Snow-Covered Plains. Only have 1 in the sideboard, though. Make sure that's the right art. Okay, they have resolved Peace of Mind. Okay, I do really want to get my trigger off the Nissa. Don't think I really care a lot about holding up Decay this turn. Don't think I need that fetch land now that I played Surveil this turn. Yeah, I'm not sure what this is for. This might be to gain life once you've resolved the 7 mana spell, the big one. Okay, so let's play into Bowmaster end of turn, and I think I can go Nissa into... I guess if I go Viper, then I have to sack my Nissa. Maybe I should have played Seasoned Pyromancer then. Okay, so let's cast the Viper then. Attack, Nissa, fetch land, cast Viper. I guess we might draw second Nissa, but then we can set up to Nantuko the Viper. A weirdly good matchup to do this. And if they, well, yeah, I could just decay the Ontanice, but then it's kind of mana intensive. Maybe I go like Seasoned Pyromancer, discard Nantuko, discard Spyro. I think I kind of like that more. Yeah, I think maybe just play around Reprieve too. That could actually be in their hand. We do find a Viper. All right, so we'll pass the turn. And then I am interested in decaying Lotus Bloom instead of the Ghostly Prison. If they go land Ghostly Prison, they do suspend another Lotus Bloom. No cap. What would White Belcher look like? White Belcher's a thing. White Belcher is it's like a Martyr of Sands deck. So they name Bowmaster here. We draw Thoughtseize. So yeah, let's just attack with everything. Thoughtseize them, and then decide what we're gonna do with the decay. Or I guess we play Viper first. So 1 mana Viper, and then I guess we don't have the decay up. We could keep up decay. The thing is, we know they have Ontanice, so I want to be able to like save it for that. So I think we'll Thoughtseize them and let them have the Lotus Bloom. I think this is Restore Balance. They're Enduring Ideal for sure, not Restore Balance. Oh, sorry, I meant to sack the Spyro, not the Nissa. That was a misclick. Yeah, there's Enduring Ideal in their hand. It's literally 7 mana, lose the game. It's like one of my least favorite cards ever. Let's take the Ontanice, and then we can just keep paying to attack for this. Jarvis, thank you for the raid. Hope you're doing well. We 4-1'd our first league with this Nissa Rottenmouth Viper deck. It's an elemental for Nissa. And then we've queued into Enduring Ideal. Jund against Enduring Ideal 2025 is full of twists and turns. Seven mana, lose the game. This is a card. There were very few cards when I did donation decks that I would refuse to play. This was one that was requested really often, and I would always refuse to build around Enduring Ideal. How does this deck work? Okay, so this Enduring Ideal is a 7 mana sorcery. It has Epic. Epic is is more like cringe. It's whatever the opposite of epic is. That's what epic is. Epic says you cannot cast spells for the rest of the game. Instead, at the beginning of your upkeep, you copy Enduring Ideal, which shuffles your library, puts an enchantment in play, and then you shuffle. And so like you get like Form of the Dragon, and you get like you get like Dovescape, and then there's like a couple locks that take two turns to assemble. It's just dude, imagine they cast it, and they cast their epic spell, and then you play an Ashiok, and then they can't cast spells for the rest of the game. And then Vexing Bauble also stops the epic and stops the lotuses. We have Decays and Pick Your Poisons for enchantment removal. Classic obnoxious FNM deck. I think it's a fun FNM deck. I definitely like. I like when Modern is a format where you run into stuff like this. Would copying an epic spell work? Well, you'd have to copy it with like an ability that isn't a spell, but it would work. So it would with like I don't know, it's not something that is an ability instead, like a mirror pool. Does Vexing Bauble counter the copied epic spells? I think it does. I think you cast the copy. At the very least, I'm going to bring it in for the Lotus Blooms. What are the other epic spells? It's definitely like a very fun card. It's like very classic Modern. I do think Modern's at its best when like stuff like this pops up every once in a while. You know, we're 4-1 on the day with Jund. You know, things are good. There's a bribery. Interesting. It's a little bit weird on the mana where we want to get Stomping Ground, Overgrown Tomb, but we probably have to get Blood Crypt so we can go Thoughtseize into Viper, or Thoughtseize into Bowmaster into Viper. Hasty Viper. Bauble doesn't do anything. What stops Lotus Bloom? Yeah, I think drawing the Spyro, we shouldn't be too worried about our draw not being functional. No Leyline of Sanctity either. Okay, so this is this is each opponent and life loss, so it does stop the damage. We don't really mind Rottenmouth Viper on or Rune Halo on Rottenmouth Viper. I guess I'm taking Wintermoon. It's their the O-Ring is definitely a little annoying, but I think Wintermoon's more annoying. Proving Ground solves that problem. Well, it doesn't solve my problem of wanting to play Thoughtseize turn 1 and then a 2-drop on turn 2. So we're going to save that to discard to the Spyro. What do you think about squeezing some number of Collector Oofs in the sideboard? Maybe over 1 Pick Your Poison, 1 Vexing Bauble. I think yeah, you could play some Collector Oofs. One issue is that like I do think triple Pick Your Poison is like really nice for. I'm okay with the name Bowmaster here. I do think triple Pick Your Poison is really nice for the Titan and Domain Zoo matchups, and while also covering Urza Sagas. So I'm not sure, but I do think it's an option, and I would even say a good option, of course. All right, so Spyro, discard Kroxa Bowmaster. Can next turn... Oh, I guess we can't go Nissa Fetchland and then Haste a Viper. To be honest, I think Ghostly Prison's kind of good at Modern. I think that evaluation, Ghostly Prison, it could be right. It's the kind of thing, though, where it's like, it's certainly very vibe-based, you know? It's like, yeah, it's probably good. It's the kind of thing that you do have to actually test at some point, and I don't know if I want to be the one to test it. Maybe you could be the one to test it. No green mana for Nissa right now. Oh, right, we couldn't do that anyways. So a Legend Rule Dicthos. Yeah, I mean, I definitely can't Nissa Haste Viper, but I couldn't do that even if I had played a green source last turn. We could go Nissa next turn. Leyline of Sanctity. This is each opponent's. Kroxa is each opponent's. Ooh, nice. Although I guess they're gonna O-ring me. That's okay though. want to sack with the Bowmaster token because you can't like if you play another Bowmaster then if you play another Bowmaster then you can get another token, but if there's already an Orc army in play, it's still just one token. So this is gonna be 6 damage plus 3 triggers plus I guess I should have sacked Bowmaster because they have Ruined Halo, so -1 damage. They discard a Ruined Halo. Their hand is Oblivion Ring, Mystery card. Prison was good a bit ago when Prowess was popular. It's upgraded 2 times with Enchantress with sideboard prisons. And Boros was fine, but the games it produced were often Boros favored anyways. That's interesting. I am excited about Enchantress with the new Enchantress portable hole. Definitely feel like there's something good there. The Johnny Bombardment stuff's really annoying when you're on the Ghostly Prison plan. So I'm 1 card in yards short of going for Kroxa. Meaning green first. Stomping Ground probably. Make black. They got no cards in their hands, so they have to lose 4 or sack a Ruined Halo. And then if they draw an answer to the Viper, we just have the Arena of Glory Kroxa next turn. All right, so we're 5-1 on the day. A little asterisk on the Enduring Ideal opponent. Although in theory, like, you know, in the past, Enduring Ideal, like, one reason you would play it is that you were good against Jund. Okay, let's keep this. We're gonna go Blood Crypt Dreams and then Theater Hold Up Push. Yeah, Nissa also getting Cosmic Wave. That is something. I maybe should have mentioned that in the PowerPoint. Sarah with the 25. Welcome back. Who's my favorite NBA player all time? I really like Wimby. I know his career is pretty short. I'm also kind of recently getting back into the NBA. Like growing up, Dirk Nowitzki was God, and okay, it does seem important to break up Overlord Wisp here, even though I'm kind of scared of this Catcher Boast. Yeah, it was definitely Dirk growing up, and then I didn't watch the NBA for like 15 years, and then I've been getting into it lately. Them top decking Relic is pretty bad for me with them having the Catcher Most in hand. Maybe I'll draw Bowmaster. I think I'll keep the Nissa. But I don't know. I just Wimby's just so fun to watch, and you know he seems like a really nice guy. They drew another Overlord. Their draw steps were Overlord and Relic. They don't necessarily have a third. Okay, there's a third land. There's a third land. So this game is probably over. Dude, they drew Relic in the top deck second Overlord Thoughtseize Bug. And then they found the third land off the Overlord. So not great. Are you German, Yindrik? I can't remember, but Dirk is German too. Polish, right? Don't really have NBA representation. I can't think of anybody. All right, down a game. That was a beating. I think I just ran it back last time and we won. I may be missing a little bit of Catcher Most Hate. We do have the Bowmasters, which are really good against this build. They are on Relic. We could maybe play like 1 Pick Your Poison, which also hits Overlord, hits Flicker Wisp, so not the worst. I think I want to cut the Cling to Dust and the Kroxa. Maybe we just play 2. Martian Garat used to be mid-tier center like a decade ago. Hell yeah. Yeah, Scryfall for NBA would be cool. It's cool that just, you know, here Europeans are following the NBA pretty closely. I've really only been back into it for like last season. I want to go to a Spurs versus OKC game so I could see Jalen Williams and Wemby play, and then I probably want to go to like the next Mavs Lakers, so I could see Luka again. Bauble isn't half bad. It isn't half bad. Yeah, maybe I don't know. Like it stops Solitude and stops Rebound Ephemerate. I don't know how many you want, but yeah, maybe we should have one or two. I like this hand. Solitude is pretty good against us, or good against Viper. Alright, I think I'll take the Seize. Weird hand. Good draw. They graveyarded Ketchamos. They didn't have a third land. Let's get Blood Crypt and then cast a Bowmaster. Pretty painful, classic Jund start. Your favorite NFL team? I used to be really into fantasy football, and I grew up as a Cowboys fan. But I haven't watched an NBA game in a long time. I think the last NFL game I remember watching was the Super Bowl where the Patriots came back from super duper far behind. So do this first for an extra damage. Also, if they had a Solitude, we could maybe blow out with a push. So one Felly down, one to go. They still have Emperor, Thoughtseize, Emperor, Flickerwisp, but then 3 other cards. One of the cards is a Hallowed Fountain, which they play untapped, and then they pass the turn. So this is maybe Felia plus push or Felia plus Ephemerate. This turn, it looks like I want to go Wrenn and Six, hold up push, and then next turn go Nissa into Viper. I think to play around Felia Ephemerate, I want to just attack with my Orc army. So knowing that Twitch doesn't tell me my sub expired, so just to figure out when I'm bombarded with ads. Yeah, it only does that for the Twitch primes, but you know, it's definitely makes you keep on top of it. I agree, it's annoying. Thanks for doing it anyways. All right, so they do play Ephelia. I want to wait on the Ephemerate, on the push, so I can like make them use the Ephemerate on their turn if they have it. I do want to use it before they attack, so they don't get to just delete my Orc army. They play an we want them to go to combat, so they don't get to play this Emperor of Bones and then exile something. Well, that is what they're doing. Oh no, they're playing the Wisp. Okay, that seems way worse than playing Emperor. Okay, so I target Felia. Well, do I even care about Felia? I do care about Felia, because if they have Ephemerate, I want them to Ephemerate the Felia and not the Wisp. So I can ping the Wisp with the Wrenn and Six. And I need to decide if I'm surveilling. So, if I go fetch, I can play Nissa with Arena of Glory up, play another fetch land that's 3 more mana plus the Arena, and I could sack Bowmaster and Wrenn and Six to haste the Viper. Seems like a good option. Let's we also get a Surveil with this line, so it really seems better than leaving it in play for the Nissa mana. Nantuko on the Bowmaster this turn is pretty interesting, but we could also just save it. I think I like it. I think it makes my... it lets me keep the Wrenn and Six. It lets me kill this Flickerwisp through the Ephemerate. I guess they can Ephemerate and target the Bowmaster in response to my Bestow, and I think that that's probably just okay. I had Epiphany with Solitude and Rottenmouth. I put together a list. Sure. Okay, it was Fatal Push instead this whole time. So I can still haste the Rottenmouth. Let's do that. Do lose the Nantuko, but that's okay, I think. I guess I could lose Wrenn and Six instead, but I think having Nissa, having the Wrenn and Six is better than the Nantuko, right? This is gonna be really tough for them. Their hand is Emperor Mystery cards, so they can't Solitude me. So they're gonna chump here, and then they're going to take 4 and then discard their other 2 cards, and they just have nothing. Yeah, we're gaming. We're 5-1 of the day. Rottenmouth is really good and really underplayed. I know it took me a long time to get to this card, but also they printed a lot of stuff that enables it. Although I guess I could have played this build when it came out. The Affinity deck was really exciting. Oh, they did have Ephemerate too. Okay, it was Push and Ephemerate. Jeez. Alright, so I guess they don't have any top decks that could have killed the Viper because they didn't have 5 mana. I think I'm on board for the first Vexing Bauble, just 1/1. Jund is good, yeah. Just have to build it not like a Boomer, I guess. Or even a Zoomer, you just gotta keep evolving. Yeah, being 5 on the way with like actual 5-1 on the day with actual Jund mid ranges, I don't know, it feels pretty good. Booty Flute, the 47, good to see him. Playing the best 3-color combo of all time, yeah. I remember when I first started streaming, I'm sure some of y'all remember this too, like I was like, I think Wrenn and Six seems good in Jund, and I just got so many questions about Wrenn and Six over Dark Confidant, and if that was something you wanted to do. It was very funny. How far we've come. It's kind of interesting. I think we will lead on the dreams here. Let's get Blood Crypt. The Wrenn and Six probably won't be very good this game, right? So they don't have Ketchamos in their hand. I'll take their second land. Then we can complain about how good their top decks are. All right, complain. So we'll Fatal Push the Thalia, and then they get to Overlord it back. So I guess we'll try to make them. They do have Solitude. I think I'm still keeping this on top. Might get them to Solitude the Nantuko. Didn't expect Aspiring Spike Wrenn and Six deck. We've played a lot of Wrenn and Six. Even recently, Wrenn and Six has been good for us. Yeah, so we want to wait so that they can't get the Thalia back with the Overlord, of course. They do mill a Psychic Frog that they can grab, which is not good news. We do get to push this. So they had a Solitude Ephemerate Psychic Frog mystery card. Is that mystery card a land? Find out, I guess. That's the card we kept on top. I'm going to just do this fast so that they maybe snap Solitude me. Okay. I don't know if that makes much sense. The problem I see with keeping this is that it doesn't stop my Overlord problem. I feel like I need like Nissa or Seasoned Pyromancer or another Springheart Nantuko if I want to keep a threat on top here. So they do not play the Psychic Frog, which means they have another copy of Thalia. So thankfully we've drawn another Fatal Push. Jeez. I have one more Surveil land left in the deck. I think I'm just getting my Swamp. So let's attack with the team. Maybe this is just Solitude and the Ephemerate. Okay, I guess that's what this is. I kind of feel like they would. It might still be Thalia because I do think that they likely would have. They likely would have gone for Frog instead of Solitude Ephemerate this turn. At least I think I would have. So let's not play into Solitude Ephemerate. They do have both those cards in their hand. Those are the 2 knowns plus Frog, so it's not unlikely, of course. But if we can get them to do that here and clean up Nantuko and 2 tokens, then we're not too okay. They pitch Vindicate, so Vindicate was a live top deck for them last game. Maybe they didn't board it in though. And getting the Solitude out of the hand so the Viper can try to take over is certainly good. And then we could try to Fatal Push the Frog next turn, hopefully. Because I'm assuming they're going to Ephemerate, and their hand is going to be Frog, 2 mystery cards. We don't want to forget to attack with our guys into the Solitude where we can ping it. They might forget that. We are going to go down to just 2 tokens, though, so we'll see how that goes. The Overlord's going to be here before we know it. They do not rebound the Ephemerate. I guess that's correct. They do draw a 3rd land, so we'll see if one of the mystery cards is a Ketramos. We know one of them is a Psychic Frog. I'm going to not block with an Insect token to protect a Wrenn and Six with no fetch land in the yard. And then they pass the turn again. So was I right in thinking that they have the Felia? Maybe, maybe not. Let's attack. If they play Felia block, we ping it with Wrenn and Six, I think. And save the push for the Frog. And I think we sack 2 spawns. Maybe we sack the Wrenn and Six. The Wrenn and Six is not doing a lot here. It's pretty good if I draw a fetch and they don't have Ephemerate. So hopefully they don't have another Ephemerate. Alright, this trigger does resolve. Maybe the sack Overlord. Probably just lose 4 on this one. Should have held that land for next turn. I think I wanted to keep the push up really badly, but maybe sack the 3rd token. I thought we were sacking Wrenn. Yeah, I decided to not sack the Wrenn. So I don't know if that was right. So so they discard Psychic Frog, so they're going to play Felia here, I assume. And then Surveil and Felia, I guess. If they graveyarded something that was better than Psychic Frog, we would want to wait on the Fatal Push because maybe they would have Emperor of Bones. Oh wait, now they have the Felia. So yeah, maybe I needed to wait still because of Emperor of Bones, because they go land Bones the Felia. Is that super bad for me? It's definitely not super good. There's a land, it's tapped, so did not run into that at least. They have 1 card left. What could it be? It's a spell. For some reason I think it might be Wrath Disguise, but maybe that's just wishful thinking. I guess we'll never know as they give up. People have been just giving up against Viper today. They have just been not interested in trying to beat it. A good sign for the card being good. We are 6-1 on the day with Jund Midrange. Okay, we're on the draw against what is likely Boros Synergy. Yeah, we could maybe do something like that. Turn 1 Guide of Souls. So it can go Swamp into 2nd discard spell, tapped Surveil, or I could get Stomping Ground. Yeah, I think we'll get basic Swamp here. And then we want to lead on Thoughtseize because their 2-drop might be Goblin Bombardment. Their 2-drop is Goblin Bombardment. We do have Decay for it. I think we're still taking it. We have Decay for other stuff. Yeah, I think it's interesting, Panda. Like, not being able to haste it is kind of tough, though. Have you discussed just jamming Viper into Boros Synergy? I've discussed that it's kind of boring to me. I definitely get a lot of negative reinforcement when I play any energy builds on the stream. People do not have fun, and I don't have fun, and I don't think it's something that would be bad, but I think it's something that I might just leave to other people who like to play energy decks. So they drew an Arena of Glory. I guess we could have played Wooded Foothills in case they just randomly Blood Mood me next turn. Can't really get a forest super comfy because I need the double red for the Spyro. Kind of hard to say no to a Nissa. So this turn we're going to Surveil again, probably getting red-black, and then Decay. Darko, the 26th, thank you, welcome back. Oh, I guess. Sorry, I should have said no to Nissa. They've got the Galvanic Discharge. Dumb. Too Nissa brained. Asmo defeat the Viper. We played Asmo Viper. It was one of the decks that did like way better off stream than on. Okay, I'm content to decay the guide because they may flip the Ajani with the Galvanic Discharge, which would ordinarily be really annoying, but we just decay the Ajani if they do that. Wrenn and Six. So going Wrenn and Six, pick up a fetch land, play a land for turn, be able to get basic forest to play around. Oh yeah, get basic forest to play around Moon and Decay up still. Seems pretty good. And then if they Galvanic Discharge the Wrenn and Six, I'm gonna be pretty happy with that 2-for-1. I'm crashing out over Spider-Man. Okay, Jonah. They ignore the Wrenn and Six. That's interesting. Maybe they're going to Static Prison it. They do Static Prison. I need to save the Decay for the Ajani. I think let's Surveil. It's kind of close, I think. Seems okay. So I could keep this Viper and I could go Seasoned Pyromancer, discard Nissa, discard Seasoned Pyromancer, and be set up to Viper. That seems okay. I don't know if I love that, but I think it's okay. Did you have to spend a while before the stream to get all the dust off the Decays? I've been playing Abrupt Decay. Decay has been a card I've genuinely been liking in Modern lately. It kills Ajani, it kills Static Prison, it kills Bombardment, it kills Amulet, it kills Ruby Medallion. It's Abrupt Decay is really good. It kills Necro, which is not the most important, but there's just a lot of like annoying cards to deal with that it deals with super cleanly. Let's take 2. Okay. Feel good about the decision then. Yeah, it kills Frog, kills Oculus. Like, there's just a long list of annoying cards it deals with. So they probably plus? Yeah, they do plus. So 2 3/2s. So I guess I can go Decay Ajani and then Haste Viper? That seems great. Although, am I just... Maybe I'm putting myself too vulnerable to dying on like the backswing. Yeah, they've got, I guess, too many Arena of Glories for me to go that all in. So I guess I'm gonna go Bestow here. So like, I guess having a 3/3 is not that good either, because I don't have good blocks on these. So I guess we instead settle on Wrenn and Six, pick up a green fetch, and then Decay. And then they probably sack the Static Prison, which is kind of annoying, but it's not that big a deal. Yeah, the problem with Nantuko Spyro is they just have good attacks into it. I think you still do the Viper line, you just don't swing. That's kind of an interesting thought. I don't think I like it that much, but it is interesting. They don't. Okay, they pay for Static Prison, so that was just a mistake. I don't think there's any defending that. They do still have the Galvanic Discharge in their hand, and I think we just want to keep our life total high. Okay, so they're gonna kill this. They drew another Static Prison. They say misclicked. Okay, guess that's in reference to the prison. And then what did they draw? They drew a Spyro for turn, so that's good for them. They have 2 fresh cards. They play a Guide of Souls, also very good for them. Jeez. So I think we have to go down to 6. do think we have to leave this back on defense. Yeah. I'm gonna ping them, I guess. Maybe now pick up another fetch land. Tough game. So they're just gonna lose 4. They're down to 13. They're gonna not pay this time. I assume that's what they meant with the misclicked. Two cards. Not a lot of bricks that they could have over there. No, we're not at the discharge, right? We block here. They have a Hasty Ragavan, which we're also not quite dead to, right? We block here, go to 1. Oh no, sorry, I just miscounted. No, I can block like this and be at 1 though. They flip a Fatal Push, so no live targets for that. Stabilizing is maybe not the most realistic. Maybe if I draw another Viper. Okay, Graveyard Trespasser could get there. So if I haste Graveyard Trespasser, my opponent, I am attacking for 9 plus 2, which is 11 plus 1. It's 2 more. Yeah, the problem is they just get to go sack here. I'm at 3. I'm dead on the backswing. I can't Graveyard Trespasser and get the Seasoned Pyromancer tokens back. Yeah, they're going to be able to fly next turn. What is this? For Nissa gets Viper. Wait, why not lethal? Okay, this is 6 plus 5 plus 1. That's 11. Which that's 12, and they're at 14. Where are you seeing lethal? Yeah, they can choose here. They don't just lose 4 each time. So they're going to sack a treasure token to one of these. Close game. Go to game 2. Alright, so they're going to go down 2 Thoughtseize and for 2 Graveyard Trespassers. I want the first pick your poison usually. I might want to play one more. We have the Dreams and the Trespassers for Flage, so that's like pretty covered. I think I cut the K command. Good for mana curve too. Yeah, let's do this. Yeah, this hits flipped Guided Soul, Static Prison, Bombardment, sometimes Fable. Yeah, the top deck Spyro was tough. I think the turn I played that other Wrenn and Six, that might have been a mistake. The line of just playing defensive Viper the turn before I played could have been good. Yeah, if you kill Viper in response to the trigger, it doesn't get a counter. So keep that in mind. Not very easy to kill the Viper, though. This deck needs Calling Ritual. Yeah, maybe. Calling Ritual it's one of those cards, you know. I always feel so weird playing it in a deck like this that has like 11 2-drops, but it might just be good. You could play 1. You could play 2, maybe. All right, so let's lead on the arena. Well, I guess I could get no, if I can't go push into Wrenn and Six. So I mean, how bad is it for me if they play Guide of Souls turn 1? I don't think it's that bad. Culling Ritual seems good with Snake. Yeah, I know Culling Ritual is great when you get to blow up a million permanents and then you have a big spell. I do know that, but that's not often or always my experience with Culling Ritual. I do agree, when you blow up a million permanents and then you cast a 6-drop, it's pretty good. Second guide. And a Pride. So I can pick your poison, this Guide of Souls. I can Wrenn and Six ping when I lose the Wrenn and Six, and then I can push this other one, and then they have a 1/1. It's not too bad. Yeah, I think this is the line. So probably not Blood Mooning me if they're getting Sacred Foundry. Spyro with 2 cards in hand, so if they have a Flage, we have the Trespasser to exile it, thankfully. They do have a Flage, you discard that in a Static Prison, then they attack for 1. Get to play we might get to Nantuko Graveyard Trespasser, which is something I really want to do and haven't had the opportunity to do yet. So 3 cards in their hand. Galvanic discard, charge. Discards a Flooded Strand. Now they're down to 1 card. It's another copy of Flooded Strand. So maybe in some trouble if they Surveil Flage into the yard off that strand. Otherwise, we should be sitting kind of pretty. I was a little bit worried about drawing second Arena. Looks like on our mana curve, it's not really going to affect too much. I'm going to play the second Graveyard Trespasser. Going to exile a Guide of Souls and pass back. I think it's better because it's a tap land. I think we just want to play it instead of trying to save it to landfall Nantuko, especially when we can't make a copy. They don't Surveil a Flage into the graveyard, but they do keep a card on top. They cannot kill this though. They have an Ajani. We have a Decay for the Ajani. We don't want to block this cat token this turn though, although they don't attack. We could attack. I think what I want to do, and I know we're kind of leaving a lot of value on the table, but I think I want to go Spyro, discard Rottenmouth Nantuko, and try to find a land to decay this. We don't. We just find more action. So I'm kind of happy to have filtered through a little bit there. We can't attack. Pass back. They're top decking. Yeah, I don't know if they're just forgetting that this is also a cat or if they want to keep it on defense. Probably more likely they just want to keep it on defense, right? Here's a land for us, which is good. Not really much reason to do any landfall shenanigans, so yeah, let's just go to combat. Attack with Graveyard Trespasser. Drain them for 2. Shrink the yard for a future Flage, maybe. Let them block with the cat token if they want to do that. Maybe they block with everything. Okay, they block with Seasoned Pyromancer. That's an interesting choice. So I'm going to play a basic forest, and then I'm going to cast this Nissa, and then going to hold up the Decay. Maybe they have Galvanic Discharge. Okay, well, here's the Decay. If their last card is Discharge, I don't know what to say. Okay, it's not. So 1 card in their hand. It's a basic mountain. So we're going to haste our Rottenmouth Viper. Attack with... Do I attack with Nissa or not? I guess is the big question. I kind of like sending in with everything. I think I send in with everything. Like they're at 12. It's just such a headache for them. I'm at 14. Like it's gonna be so hard for them to double block this Nissa with no cards in hand. They have to like lose 8 to the Viper trigger, sack 2 things. Okay, going to game 3. Yeah, let's think about maybe going down 1 Thoughtseize. Then we have 2 Dreams, 1 Seize. I'm gonna play one more Pick Your Poison because a little bit more worried about getting run over on the draw. Not a big deal either way. Good game. Gonna be hard to mulligan this hand. They're on a mold of 6. I think I gotta keep. Could definitely be a little clunky with no turn 1 untapped mana. Maybe maybe we just don't draw a fetch land, but I think on the draw against a mulligan, you want to keep this. They do have a turn 1 creature. It is a Guide of Souls again. Alright, I do want to be able to go Fatal Push the Guide of Souls and then Wrenn and Six ping an Ocelot Pride if I am given that option. It's a Voice of Victory. I think I need to push still. It's a little annoying. What can you do? Hopefully Wrenn and Six absorbs a good amount of damage here. We can go like Nantuko into Nissa into Viper maybe. Mark with the 42. Thank you. Welcome back. 4 cards in their hand. They did mulligan. They have a dashed Ragavan. So they can either kill the Wrenn and Six, or they can hit me for 2, get a treasure token, and then, or they could ignore Wrenn and Six completely. Seems fine. It's a lot of damage. I'm already at 15, so this is 5 damage, putting me down to 10. They get the Ragavan treasure. They have 3 cards in their hand. They hit a Fatal Push, which would have been nice for me to draw, but not going to be helpful for them at least. How much do I care about my Wrenn and Six value? It seems like they're F6, so I'll go ahead and crack the fetch. I'm going to Surveil instead of trying to play around Blood Moon. Shouldn't be the biggest decision point, of course. I already have a Nissa. A backup Nissa wouldn't be the worst, though. Let's Graveyard. I think that you could go the other way on that. Mark with the 42, Ada with the 18. Thank y'all. Tense game. I think we need Trespasser. Maybe. My opponent does have at least 4 spells in their hand, probably 5. One of them is a Ragavan. They do attack. I don't know how I'm feeling about blocking here. Triple block seems okay. So if I triple block, I go Nissa, fetch land, 3 mana, and I can cast Viper, but I have to sack my Nissa. Maybe I could just go to 6. Let's go to 6. So they probably killed my Nantuko. Oh, they go face? Well, now I can just kill their Ajani. So I get to go Wrenn and Six, ping the cat. Attack the Ajani. Obviously, we're going to go down to 1 life point, not my favorite life total to be at. And we might not. I think we can stabilize, but I'm not 100% sure that we have enough. So we're going to spend 3 mana, sack 3 permanents, and then we're going to get 2 more from this Nantuko. So we're going to have 4 blockers, which is enough to it's enough to block. So we get a Viper, and so we sacrifice. Do I sacrifice Wrenn and Six, or do I sacrifice? I'm going to sack these 2 tokens, and I can either sack the Nantuko, or I can sack the Wrenn and Six. I think I'll sack the Wrenn and Six. I just have another one. I don't think there's another choice there. My 1 life, not my favorite life total to be at, not my least favorite life total to be at, which is 0. They have 4 cards in their hand. One of them is a Ragavan. It seems like they just drew the land for Flage. Yeah. Maybe if they had missed a land for a turn, then we could have stabilized a little bit. Not sure if we could have done anything different, really. I think we played good. Opponent keeps 7. I guess I gotta go 5. This deck really wants Meathook Massacre. I mean, Meathook Massacre is not a card I've really played a lot with. I guess it's not one I have a good understanding of. Might have been better to keep Cling over the Viper. Ooh, opponent says big fan, and they go Vinestalk. Cool. Never seen this card in Modern. Maybe they're playing Ritual? Civic Ritual? Hello. Draw 3 cards, discard a card. At instant speed, and it's a 6 mana, bounce 2 creatures. I know this card sees a lot of play in Standard. We would take one of the 2 counter spells. Koji with the 59, thank you, welcome back. Alright, maybe we could try to bait Counterspell on Bowmaster, although I guess you would prefer to cast this in response to the Growth Spiral. Should be a fun match. If you say yes, I'll play Twiddle Storm at Magic Knight. Yeah, I mean, that sounds fun. Wait, this is... No, they had a Planar Genesis. Sorry, I thought it was Growth Spiral. Okay, yeah, I'll just let this resolve then, and Bowmaster end of turn. How do you make that matchup better? You can play some more some sweepers in the sideboard. I don't think that you can play more Trespassers in the main. To say Boros is unbeatable with a fair deck is no longer true. That used to be true with the Ring and Gigantha and Raptor. Those cards were so insane. But we've had like a lot of success with like Rakdos and Mono Black against them, and I think you could take a lot of those elements and be good against Boros. So they did not take the bait. Do I trade Wrenn and Six for Counterspell? I guess so. Alright, so their hand is Supreme Verdict, this big, goofy sea monster, and then 3 mystery cards after they draw. Oh, this is a dragon. I thought it was a sea monster. So get them down to 12. Should be a really fun match. Alright. Took the counterspell. They do find land number 4. Will they just Supreme Verdict these two, or will they try to get a little greedy? They don't really want to be draw 3ing into the Bowmaster, of course. Do they have something else? They have 2 cards. No, we Thoughtseize 1, and they counterspelled 1, and then there's a 3rd. There's the Verdict. So this card, and then 2 unknowns. Could we draw a land or a Wrenn and Six? Instead, we draw a useless Abrupt Decay. Tough mull to 5. It seems tough to go over the top of Flage and Midrange. Trespasser is how you do that. It's like a really, like, it just does do that. I think I might Spyro instead, actually. You also Dreams of Steel and Oil help. Cling to Dust helps. But Flage, of course, is very good. Just not impossible to beat. Maybe they want to hardcast this. No. I've seen Dingo play this in Standard some. Draw 3, then discard a card. Discard a Hedge Maze. They're going to untap with 5 in hand after they Surveil. They do keep a card on top. Probably go to game 2 in a second. Play a Boseiju. Interesting. Boseiju in the counterspell deck. You don't see that very often. I think sorry, we could play this out. I think we're just so far behind on our mull to 5 that I want to keep the show on the road in this slow matchup. Seems fine. So I think I'm actually going to bring in the Ashiok. The Vexing Baubles are good enough against Solitude also. I want to cut the Dreams of Steel and Oil in the Fatal Pushes, keep everything else in. Click Submit. Meringue River Regent, there must be a better card in Spawn the Modern. Yeah, I mean, I think Modern Control players in general are very confused as like what card advantage suite to play. Your options of like Stock Up, Memory Deluge, Jace, Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, Narset are like, it's kind of unclear like what the best split is there. I do think that you have 2 really, really good options coming with Edge. You have the Consult the Star Charts, and you've got the Sphinx that are both like really, really premium and let you build the decks in really different ways. So I think this card draw confusion Control players are having probably gets solved a lot in the new set. I think we should take the Snare, since Bowmaster is really good against Teferi. That's probably just main phase. What's interesting too is because I took the Snare, they played a non-fetch land turn 1, which means that my top deck, the Ashiok, gets a little bit better. That seemed a bit early. It was a bit early, but I'm think I was just down to keep it moving there for your sake. don't usually like to board an Ashiok in these kind of spots, but I think in this matchup it makes sense, especially you just need to board out some duds. So just sniped a bunch of lands there. Not super ideal because we know their hand is pretty land heavy as is. Gonna play the Teferi in plus probably. They minus on the Bowmaster. Okay, just getting that trade out of the way. So let's keep another one of these. Definitely want to get the Vexing Bauble down before I go for Viper, if I'm going to go for Viper. Oh, they're playing Ice Fang. They play Untapped Fountain, so maybe they have the draw spell, which I didn't play around very well, but I was thinking I kind of wanted to bait counter magic on this. So I could go for my Viper. So they can't Solitude me. Arena would be really nice, of course. Third Bowmaster is not too shabby. Just seeing more of their deck is also pretty good if we do go to game 3, which just seems kind of likely. They take 4 when they have 7 cards in their hand. That's kind of silly, I think. You don't need all those cards. There's a good chance we get Verdicted. Okay, Purge, not as bad. They play a fetch, which is getting Ashioked, which is good. Alright, let's see what we're working against. So they have a Solitude, so we're containing with the Vexing Bauble. They have another Regent, which the Bowmaster kind of covers. They have a Cosmic Rebirth that doesn't have targets at the moment. I probably want to take Wandering Emperor. Temporary Lockdowns in their deck, too. Be a little bit mindful of this. It's a 3/3. It's a 5/5 that makes something else a 3/3. I guess I should have let the Genesis resolve, then play the Bowmaster so they get less selection. A little misstep, I guess. They do find a breeding pool. So this unlocks the... Oh, this costs 5 to activate? Dude, this card's so bad. So now they're going to hardcast Solitude. Let me sack the Vexing Bauble then, since that's what their plan is. See if I mill a creature to... I guess maybe just holding that for Nissa was better. But I would really like to drain them for 1 if possible. Might not have been the right attitude. So they target a Bowmaster, which is interesting. They still have the Teferi in their hand, too. They main phase another Solitude. They target another Bowmaster. Well, we're pretty behind. That second Ashiok was close to lethal. Well, they have the Solitudes to trade with them is the problem. Yeah, I guess we're going to lose. Although the big upside of losing is that we get to play for the Jund to 5-0, the 3-2. Yeah, I think we're think I'm gonna call it, and let's play for 3-2. 4-1 the first league. Their build is weird. Keep this. Put us in a build of 6. Let me see. What's the story behind it? I don't know where the Jund 5-0 meme comes from, but like it's just kind of something like, I don't know if it's like a Nassif thing, but you like grade on a curve for Jund that a 3-2 in Jund is worth a 5-0 for a different deck is the joke. I think we play the Nantuko here. No Surveil Land? Wait, what did they draw that they didn't play a Bauble that turn? They didn't like Bauble fetch. They played an untapped Steam Vents. Then they play a Mox Amber. Then they play a Mox Opal. Then they play a Bauble. Dude, imagine Narset here. Then they play a Quarry Steelcutter. Then they play the Bauble, which does not trigger Quarry Steelcutter. Then they play Scalding Tarn. Okay, well this turn didn't make any sense. So I want them to make their Mishra's Bauble selection before I decay the Steelcutter. Okay, they don't know about Mishra's Bauble fetch land. So if you don't know at home, what you want to do usually is take a peek at your top card with your Mishra's Bauble. If you like it, then you don't fetch. If you do like it, then you do fetch. Or if you don't like it, you fetch. If you do like it, you don't. I guess if they're not going to crack the Mishra's Bauble, we don't need to decay because they can't cast 2 spells. So there's 1. Also, you should sack both your Baubles in these spots. Oh yeah, I just noticed default profile picture. Welcome, opponent. True Sacred Foundry. Untapped. Ooh, Narset. Well, I do have the Fatal Push up, unfortunately. Narset would have been so ridiculous last turn. I'll get to discard that next turn. Probably. We'll wait on the Surveil, see what they play. Be way better to know if we want to keep an answer or not. And also, I guess, hides the info they get off the Bauble. Was it being sarcastic or serious when you say this is my favorite set at the beginning of my new video? I guess you didn't watch till the end. But I was being serious. I was doing the Mass Effect bit, but I love everything about the new set. I think the design, the mechanics, the flavor, the art direction, the freshness of it. I really, really like Edge. It's a little early to say definitively that it's my favorite set or whatever, but I do just really, really like it. Well, I can't really say no to that. Yeah, I know we can double. Oh, we can't double Wrenn and Six because of the swamp, but they can have Tomio. I'm gonna bestow Nantuko onto Nantuko. I'm gonna make another Nantuko. It's kind of funny when cards just like synergize with themselves like this. Yeah, I'll take it. The end of the deal is amazing. I thought it was funny to keep it in. I think I've done that like once or twice before too. Okay, so we're up a game against Jeskai Narset. I want my poisons in. Gotta pick your poison. I want the Bowmasters in. Let's probably cut Kroxa in the Trespassers. I guess the Vexing Baubles are also pretty good against them. They just have infinite zeros. Maybe you could do that instead of like the Cling and a Dream. Sorry for rhyming. Let's go. Flip Tomio is a big problem for Nantuko. That's a good point. That's a good point. Okay, they're on a mold of 6. I'm also on a mold of 6. Gonna keep this one. I have to keep Wrenn and Six. I have to keep a Decay. I can either put back second landfall creature or second Decay. I think I'll probably just put back the Nantuko. Is Trespasser not good against Simmer? It's not good against Simmer, no. They could just play around it by like leaving the Bauble and crack till after you attack. I was very close to playing third Decay in the main. After today's stream, I would be interested in playing third Decay. So they have a turn 1 Emery. After their mold of 6. They got a Quarry Steelcutter in the yard too. So we might be in some trouble here. Into a Saga, yeah. Might just be fatally on the draw. Right, game 3. This is a Fresca that barely has anything left in it. Fresca, please sponsor me. Yeah, I think with the pick your poisons are enough for these sagas. I don't think I want to bring in a Break the Ice or a Charmaw. Fatally on the draw. Sounds good. I really want a Bowmaster or Narset. Yeah, I feel like that's a bit in the boys though. You want a Fresca? Fresca? But it's my go-to, you know. Stream sipping. They built the 6 again. Always like to see the mulligan when you Thoughtseize your opponent. We'll take the Bauble. I just want to see Bloodbraid Elf again. Yeah, I have Nissa'd into Bloodbraid Elf before. It does feel really good when you do that, but I don't know. So we get to go Bowmaster into Spyro into Haste Viper. That should be pretty good. They graveyard a second copy of Urza Saga. So they hand us 2 Mox Opals, a Flooded Strand, and then 2 mystery cards. They have a Steel Cutter. We're not going to be able to find a window to Bowmaster this token. Unless they say no to the Quarry Steel Cutter ability, I guess. Yeah, I think Modern's really fun. I do think that, you know, there are things that could be done to improve it, but, you know, Wizards also seems like so intent on... they seem so intent on not changing anything about the ban list forever in Modern, so... I'm trying to do my best to enjoy what we have and not pine for what we could have. If I draw Pick Your Poison, I guess I have to take a turn off to kill the Saga. If I draw Decay, I don't know if I need to kill this. Maybe I do. They have an Opal. I do think I'm not going to play the Wrenn and Six this turn. So I'm going to get Overgrown Tomb, Seasoned Pyromancer, and set up to Haste a Viper. Are there any cards that should come back? Yeah, I really think Deathred Shaman would be a great benefit to the gameplay in Modern. I think that it buffs creature combo decks, it buffs black-based mid-range decks, which are the main 2 strategies that I would love to see buff. There's lots of insane cards that are good against it, and it's also less powerful than Guide Pride, Tomio, and it's like comparable power level to Ragavan, I think. So I think it would be a nice unban. There's a few other cards too, but for me, like the number one card is still Deathred Shaman. I'd love to see come back. It would also kind of just give that like classic, iconic modern versus new modern stuff that is something I enjoy. So no Saga token this turn. I feel like maybe they should have just played the Mox Opal and then Saga token. If they were going to iterate, they should have definitely done it before casting the Portable Hole, of course. As far as like cards that are like fun and or like competitive and should come back, there's not really much beyond the Shaman. I do think you could unban cards that aren't very good, like Jitte or Punishing Fire or I used to be really in favor of Bridge from Below, but with Lamplight Phoenix, I do think it's a little bit riskier. All right, let's Vipe them. Yeah, Ponder could come off. More one-drops that take over the game if you don't have an answer would be net negative. So the thing is, Deathred Shaman taking over the game does not take over the game in the way that Tomio flipping into a Planeswalker, Ragavan stealing your spells, Pride making six creatures a turn when you have two of them, Guide of Souls making all of your creatures inevitable. Like the difference between that and like ping you for two, ping you for two, ping you for two. It's just like almost uncomparable. I don't know. Okay, so they just only lose life here. I thought they would sack an Opal. I think I'd still okay leaving this back to block, especially with them maybe being able to haste a Construct. But wait, we're not going to be dead to hasty Construct, are we? So there's an Aether Spellbomb to bounce my Viper. So they're going to need to be kind of reserved about attacking with this Monk because they're going to... Oh, I just have Wrenn and Six for lethal. Or I could decay the Portable Hole for lethal. Or I could do both. Jet with the 2 years. Welcome back. The guy with the 66. A nice Gen 5-0. We're 7-3 on the day with John. I do feel like the Viper decks have been going really well. I really like the Affinity build. This card's quite strong. I don't know if I'm going to play one in a Modern Challenge because I do really want to play Lutri again. I also kind of want to play Boros Delirium again. I don't know if this is worth any money, but I do definitely. We're definitely going to play a challenge tomorrow. I'm going to play either Grixis Lutri, Rakdos Affinity. Probably not this. Maybe Rakdos Cecil. Going to sleep on it a little bit. But that is all for me today. Thank you for tuning in. Challenge tomorrow. Likely no stream Monday. Maybe I just get a real hankering and we'll stream, but